first trimester is really tough and you're gonna need all the tips you can get to survive and get through it. You're out of breath so easily. And things aren't fitting. Oh, that's what happens when you get
pregnant. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Hi team, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm talking about how to survive the first trimester of pregnancy. If you haven't been pregnant before, trust me, you guys have no idea how brutal the first trimester is. And if you have been pregnant, you know exactly what I'm talking about, and you will take any little tip or trick to help you feel that little bit better, to help you get through. So I want to share with you guys some of the things I did and some of the things I learned that just helped me get through the day some days in the first trimester, because oh my gosh, that shiz is brutal. Not sugarcoating it, first trimester sucked. I'm not looking forward to ever doing that again. Yeah, no, I don't, it's done. I'm happy that's done. So okay, so the biggest symptom that you guys probably know you're going to get is morning sickness. Now, morning sickness can either be in the morning, like it sounds, morning sickness. It can be in the evening. It can be nausea all day. You might vomit, you might not. For me, I didn't actually vomit, luckily, like not once, but I felt like I was going to vomit literally all day, which was just like, oh, you just like, you feel gross. You're like, no one touched me. Not the best feeling in the world, and it's so hard to eat, it's so hard to function. My savior was ginger. Anything ginger, like seriously helps. Ginger lozenges, ginger lollies, anything like that. I got some from Amazon, which were amazing. They taste really nice. That helps so much. For some reason, that just helps the nausea like subside and keeps it at bay. And prenatals. Prenatals are super important anyway for you to be taking during pregnancy, but get prenatals that have ginger root in them. Oh my gosh. I use Garden of Life for prenatals. I swear once I started taking those, they just changed my life. Like I literally felt the nausea at bay when I took those, and I had to take 1-3 times a day. So ginger is amazing. So look up anything that's to do with ginger, ginger root, ginger tea. I just did the lozenges and the prenatals, and that helped me so much. Okay, so you're gonna feel sick. You're not gonna wanna eat. Your appetite, any desire to put any food in your mouth is just gone. Well, it was for me for the most part. But you need to eat. Firstly, you need to nourish your body. You need to get calories in as much as you can, because your baby needs calories to develop and grow. But you gotta do what you can. But you need to eat something, even if you put like a cracker in your mouth every hour, because actually I found that having food in my stomach helped with the nausea so much. I found when I let myself get hungry is when I started feeling sick. And it's kind of counterintuitive, because you're like, I feel sick, I don't want to eat, but then eating actually makes you feel better. So I don't know if that's the case for other people, but for me, I found that as soon as I would just force myself to eat something, whether it was just a few crackers, the saltines are amazing, whatever you can kind of stomach, it really helped subside the nausea. So make sure you just snack as much as you can. Make sure you keep food on you at all times. I was caught so many times where we'd go out and do something and I didn't pack any snacks, didn't pack any food, and then I'd feel sick because I wasn't eating, and then it was just like a vicious cycle. So keep like everywhere. I would keep food like snacks by the bedside. So if you wake up in the middle of the night and you feel sick, have a snack. In my handbag, in the car, like wherever you can take them with you, make sure you have food available. And don't beat yourself up too much about the whole eating healthy thing. I know firsthand, like I want to nourish my body as much as possible. I want to give my baby as much nutrients as possible. But in that first trimester, literally, it was like that all just went out the window for me. It was a matter of eat what you can when you can. So some days I actually felt pretty good and I would eat like a pretty nutritious meal or whatever, like getting in a lot of protein, veggies, all that kind of stuff, fresh fruits, which was great. But some days I would eat pizza. That's all I could do to get some calories in, or whatever. A bagel, like bagel's fine. Like all this food is fine, but you know, you want to try to get as much whole foods in as possible, always. But literally pregnancy, first trimester with the sickness and everything just kind of throws that out the window. So don't stress too much, just eat what you can when you can. The sickness thing is tough, and what you need to remember is it will get better. It will absolutely get better. I promise you. I was like, this is never gonna end. I feel like crap like every day. But for me, at around 10 weeks is when it just completely went. I woke up one day and I was like, I feel really good. And then the next day I was like, oh, I still don't feel sick. And then it was like a week and I'm like, oh, I still don't feel sick. And it just never kind of came back, which was amazing. So just kind of keep that in mind on those days where you just feel horrendous and you just want to like just feel disgusting. It's okay. Just keep that in mind. You're like, okay, by anywhere from week 10 to 14 is hopefully for most people when it's going to subside. So just keep aiming for that week. Keep that in mind. You'll get there. You'll be at the finish line before you know it. Oh, the fatigue is real. It seriously is next level. So sleep as much as you can when you can. I know that's more difficult for some people than others, but just do what you can. If you can literally, like for me, if I had any spare time where I could take a nap, I would. If I had any days I could sleep in a little bit or go to bed earlier, I would. And you can't beat yourself up, because I just would rather than cleaning the kitchen or the house or like, I don't know, doing something like that, I would choose to sleep. And things were messy. My hubby nearly killed me at some points where it was pretty messy. He has OCD, so he dealt with it actually really well, to be honest. He was really good. But you can't beat yourself up about, you know, letting chores just sit there, or like not meeting up with friends for coffee or whatever, because at this point you can't even tell anyone you're pregnant yet, or, you know, most people keep it to themselves. So don't be too hard on yourself. The fatigue is real. It's brutal. Just take that time for you. That's the biggest thing I can recommend. And during this time, you know, I have this affirmation where it's like, how's it go? I always freaking forget. You want to treat yourself as caringly as you would your best friend or someone super close to you that's not feeling great. Treat yourself in the same way. Give yourself just as much love, because you're going to need it. Trust me, so don't be too hard on yourself either. This might sound counterintuitive, but actually getting a little bit more active and going for walks when you're feeling really tired and fatigued can help actually re-energize you. For me, I found, especially when I would eat like a bigger meal or a decent sized meal, I would get so sleepy afterwards. Just, it would hit me straight away. But if we just went for a quick 10-minute walk, I just got outside in the fresh air for a little bit, it would just actually help re-energize. And in most cases, it would prevent me from having to take a nap. Sometimes I was just like dead anyway, and I'd get back and pass out. But other times, it really does help you just get that second little wind and get you going through the day and just surviving. No one likes this topic, but you're gonna get constipated. Yeah, you're gonna get blocked up and bloated, and it's gonna feel yuck and gross, and it's just what happens because you get this huge surge of hormones that slow your digestion down, and yeah, it's what happens. No one really told me about that. That was fun to find out. But there are some things you can do to kind of help. I never found it got like I could relieve this symptom at all, even still. Like, it's just one of those things throughout your whole pregnancy that is there because your hormones are just like, so much progesterone everywhere. But drink a lot of water, and that actually really helps with the nausea. Sometimes it can be hard to stomach just plain water. You can put a little bit of lemon juice or something citrusy in there to help with the taste, to help with the taste, because everything tastes gross. So lots of water, stay hydrated, and that's going to really help. Eat fibrous foods when you can. I couldn't stomach vegetables. Vegetables, I was just like blah, blah, blah. So a lot of fibrous fruits. Prunes are really good. Prune juice, if you can drink that. It's a bit like thick and but it really does help. You just got to keep that in mind and get active as well. Like I said before, just going for some walks, going to the gym, even if you just do a little bit of something, go through the motions. I really found the days that I would get moving would really help with the digestion issue. And with constipation comes bloating, and the progesterone comes bloating. So really kind of stock up on baggier clothes, because, you know, at this point you don't really look pregnant. It just looks like you ate a bit too much or you're bloated, and which you are. So make sure you just kind of change your wardrobe up a little bit. I just wore t-shirts, baggier clothes, and that made me feel a whole lot better, and I just didn't look like anything crazy was going on under there when it really was. Something else I found really helpful for overall nausea was actually peppermint essential oils. You don't need to do much with it. You can either just smell it, like rub some on your hands and smell it, or put some in a diffuser, and that really just helps like calm things down a little bit as well. Just all the nice things, you know, you just want to make yourself feel good with all the nice things, and I found that peppermint essential oil was a little bit of a lifesaver in that department. The boobies get really sore, like really sore. Like I felt like mum were gonna explode if I touched it with pain. Like, I don't know, it was just super sore. So wearing normal bras just kind of, was not comfortable for a while, for the first like 5-6 weeks, especially after you find out you're pregnant. It's just like, don't touch me. I found that changing to sports bras, I wear sports bras most of the time anyway, because that's just active wear all the time for me is a thing. So something like that, just a softer bra, might help you just not feel so like restricted and in pain, and there's no wires and things like that. So just switch that up a little bit and see if it kind of helps. You can't really make that pain go away, it's gonna be there, but just push through. It's only gonna last that first half of the first trimester. I found, so it wasn't too bad. This one is so important, and I feel a lot of women will probably forget this, is communication with your partner. Like, so much communication about how you're feeling, because they have no idea. Guys don't get it. They really don't initially. And you're both, obviously, it's a whole new thing. You're both excited. You may be overwhelmed, shocked. And for us, it's like there's so many changes happening to our body at once that we can't comprehend, and not to mention your emotions as well as all the hormones, and just, yeah, you'll go from days where you're like, don't touch me, I feel so sick, to, okay, you know, I need all the love. But they can't read your mind, okay? Your partners cannot read your mind. You need to communicate with them. I will literally wake up in the morning and be like, all right, today I feel like this, right now I feel like this, and give updates every couple of hours. So in the morning I might be like, I feel really shit right now, I feel this, I feel sick, I feel all these things. And by the afternoon I'm like, I actually feel really good right now, you know, come give me a cuddle. So that's something really important that I feel a lot of women might just internalize, because I'm very used to internalizing a lot of things. But I found what helped my partner was just letting him know how I felt, even if it was like overkill at every stage of the day, because it helped him really understand what I needed and what I was going through to an extent. And it made him just be super, super patient with me and just super accommodating. So I think that might help you guys out a little if you just, I'd rather over communicate than under communicate, so just let it all out. The final thing you really need to do, especially if it's your first child, is to just start educating yourself. Because for me, when I felt pregnant and I found out I was pregnant, I was like, I have no idea what to do. Like, really had no idea. I had to start from scratch with trying to educate myself. First thing I did was get a pregnancy app, which really helps because it gives you tips and it gives you updates week by week on what your body's doing, how the baby development is going, which I found so helpful. And then on top of that, just research articles, I was in forums, just researching what other people were going through, watching videos. So this is actually why I want to make this video, to help some of you guys out, because when I was researching or trying to look for information, it's like, wasn't a huge amount of stuff that I found that I could really relate to, and everyone goes through different things. So it's really important to not overwhelm yourself, but I would research and try to educate yourself per trimester as you're going through it, so you kind of deal with one thing at a time and don't get too overwhelmed, because there is a humongous amount of information out there and it can get super, super overwhelming. So just breathe. That's the next thing, just breathe, take it in. You will get through this trimester. I promise you that is the worst of it. I'm in my 3rd trimester now, and I can seriously tell you that the first one was like the most brutal. The other ones have other things which I'll go through in other videos, but if you can make it through the 1st trimester, you deserve a medal for one. You're doing amazing and it will get better from here. And just remember, it's okay to be selfish during this time. It is absolutely okay. You are growing a human. You are growing a baby. That takes so much energy. Your body's going through so many changes. So if you need to sleep more, rather than make that phone call, sleep. If you need to reduce work hours, and you can do that, reduce work hours. Whatever you need, be selfish, because I've never experienced this amount of demand from my body in my life, and I've gone from being an elite athlete to all sorts of things, and this is the biggest challenge I've ever been through, being pregnant, and how much it actually really does physically demand from you and your body. So be kind to yourself, be selfish. You are number one, and it's okay to feel like that. Thank you so much for watching, team. I hope this helps some of you survive the 1st trimester, if this is where you're at right now, if this is what you're about to go through, even if you're not pregnant yet. If you are pregnant, I'd love to hear from you below where you're at right now, or your experience in your 1st trimester, if there's anything I've missed. If you like these videos, give them a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to keep up with any new videos. I'll catch you guys next time.